what are some of the risks that you can point to as responsible or that could be seen in the course of environmental waste management within Abuja? Let us limit to Abuja first because you are representing the ABP. So what are some of the risks that you can point to as being visible with regards to environmental management and waste management?
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Abuja. I'm from Abuja Environmental Protection Board. Firstly, I would like to appreciate the organizer of this program, PAC. I'm very happy to be here. And he's stepping forward in the right direction because already we've been talking about how we are going to eradicate or ban the use of single-use plastic. Single-use plastic, because we are having a lot of challenges regarding the single-use plastic. And as a regulatory body, you know, we are in charge of the collection of the solid waste in the FCT. We engage the clearing contractors to go around the city, from house to house to collect all this waste. So most of the challenges we are facing is, let me start with the attitude and behavior of our citizens. A lot of people believe that it is the responsibility of the government to take care of everything. Just like some of the speakers have been saying that the responsibility of the environment is not on the government. Everybody has been stake in this thing. So there is need for every one of us to see the waste we are generating as our own responsibility. We shouldn't give the responsibility only to the government to be taken care of the waste. So some of the challenges is this large quantity of waste being generated, and you can see this waste can be minimized, can be reduced if we practice waste segregation at source. That is, we try to reduce the quantity of waste we are producing by separating the recyclable from the non-recyclable. You put the recyclable in a separate container, while the other one can be put in the organic in the other container. In Abuja Environmental Protection Board, there is a program we are doing. We call it APP program, where we initiate the use of blue bin for the collection of recyclables, while the other green is for the collection of the general waste. So if we try to use this waste separation at source, we find out that the quantity of waste that will be generated will be minimal and reduced. So a lot of people will be able to have access to the recyclable waste being separated at source. And before it gets to the dump site, all these challenges we are having with the scavengers will be minimal. You see them roaming around the city looking for what is this recyclable recyclable material they are actually looking for. But if we are able to separate this thing and keep it in our house, there are a lot of private people, recyclers we are partnering with the Environmental Protection Board. You can call the attention of APB to come and have access to this recyclable, and the reward will be given to you. So you see, our behavior and attitude towards the waste we are generating is something we need to tackle, and we should let everybody the mindset that the governments are not responsible for their waste they are generating. They should be responsible for the waste they are generating and be able to take care of it. But a lot of people see Abuja Environmental Protection Board, the government, as the organization that should go ahead and whatever they like with the waste they are generating. So there's need for us to actually reset our mind that waste we are generating is from our house. So we should be able to know how to handle this waste so that at least the minimum will be generated from it.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Before we pass the mic, you just made a very critical point that it's a collective responsibility, particularly managing the waste that is generated, and it's not just about government. So what is the organization doing in sensitizing the public around this? And again, you talked about the recyclable waste and the one that cannot be recycled. Is there any program through which to sensitize the public on how to dispose this level of waste?
Thank you very much. What Abuja Environmental Protection is doing right now is partnering with private recyclers. Right? We have a lot of them that are coming to our office to partner with us in the collection of recycling. So we encourage them by assigning some districts to them so that if you go to the district, you go and collect all this recyclable from them. But what we are trying to do is to enlighten the residents of that area that please, we want you to be separating your waste and source. Keep the recyclable separate from the organic waste so that the quantity or the volume that we get to the dumpster will be minimal. So we are engaging the private sector to go to this city now to start collecting this recyclable. So that's the one thing we are trying to do, and we are as well encouraging citizens, everybody, individual, to please come and partner with Abuja Environmental Protection Board in the collection of all this recycling. We shouldn't leave it to the government alone. Everybody should participate. Thank you very much.
Very much, man. You have also opened the doors for partnership and opportunity. And I think British Foundation is noting that you can also reach out to them and see how you can work with them in sensitizing the public around the use of recyclable waste. Well, thank you very much, Mark. I'm going to move on to the next panelists, and that will be Mr. Igwe. The organization is doing a lot. We just unveiled some plastic alternative products here that should go out. So my question to you is, maybe you would like to share some of your insights into what motivated this project. How did you come about this idea? Are there issues you observe in the societies or challenges that you feel your product or your initiative should address? Can you share some insights around that, please?
All right, so just moving around town, you get to understand that a lot of things have changed, from maybe 10, 20, 30 years ago to now. You find out that there's so much climate change effect we're beginning to feel these days. You begin to see or feel the effect of global warming. There's so many around. And so the question is, what are we doing to mitigate these things? If we don't do anything, it will continue. Right? We'll keep seeing the effect of these things. And so, for us, we felt like we could actually start by looking at the areas where this waste is generated from, the source. Alright? And so, plastics are cheaper in a sense, and this is also part of why people go for it. And the mindset in Nigeria, or of course, let me say Nigeria, is such that you go to buy something in the market, and one woman can go to the market, you come back with 10 different plastics, 10. Sometimes they can double it. Go to some of the malls here, they double them for you, and then you take them home. But when they take them home, we just trash them. Right? So these were some of the things we saw, and we felt like, okay, we can actually do something by helping to replace these plastics with alternatives. And what are the best alternatives? We must go for something that is recyclable, and then we return paper. Alright? And so, but in doing paper, it is also the product of trees cut down. So the more paper you produce or you use, the more trees you're cutting down. Okay? And that's also the reason why we decided to plant the trees back. So for every paper used, we must plant the trees back. If not, sustainability is not the subject of the future. That's simple. Okay, so this is just a summary of why we do what we do. And we also felt it is also very important to carry the young ones along, because it's a mindset thing. It's a mindset. We don't want to go through the Rwanda route eventually. But if we can help, if we can educate our young ones to understand the importance of these things and invite them and start practicing them now, then the future becomes better. It's easier to educate, it's easier to implement. But at this time, it's a bit more difficult because we're used to So this is also part of why we do what we do. We have a print right business, right, that does some of these things, and we felt it is important when we set up the foundation. It's important to focus on reduction of single-use plastics.
Thank you very much, Mr. Austin. regards to what you're doing. And again, it's something come up from the discussion that I think we need to look at some points, particularly you mentioned the Rwanda approach. And I was just thinking that is it possible we can begin to engage with the government, particularly knowing that there's a regulation that is pending, gazetting and all of that, and implementing organizations. Is it not high time we need to engage them to see how we can make this idea a matter of policy so that we can also be setting the ground for sustainability of our environment using the Rwanda approach? But that's something we need to talk about when I come back to you. So I want to quickly talk to Mr. Oyekwe. Thank you very much for being here too. So we're looking at the role of civil society, particularly in supporting advocacy or engagement around sustainable environment. My question is, how do you think we can build that level of advocacy? Because one of the things I've had, one of the discussions we have had so far is that it's collective engagement, collective action, collective responsibility. How can we apply all this collectivism into ensuring that advocacy is strengthened around sustainable environment, particularly with focus on reduction of single-use plastic in Nigeria?
Thank you very much. This is a direct question and straight answer. I think this is the area where network is important. We need to network with one another. We need to collaborate. We need to partner. With partnership, collaboration, and networking, we can achieve advocacy. And the advocacy is not just targeted on the government. It targets on the private sector, corporate organizations. It targets on individuals. It targets on the public sector, like the marketplace and things like that, the churches. Everybody needs to be carried along. Everybody needs to be aware. Everybody needs to know the hazards these plastics cause to the society. You understand? So every organization needs to be carried along. Everybody. I am happy to see students here, which is part of the partnership, and they will carry the message along. It's part of the advocacy. And politicians also need to also understand this, because there's nobody that is free from it. We are all victims. We carry plastic every now and then. Even some of them have names. Like when I go to a shop to buy something, I tell them, if I buy bread, I say, put it in mind your business. But which one is mind your business? Somebody may ask. The black one, so that nobody will see what you're carrying. So you understand? So we are all we need to start thinking out of the box to see how we can reduce it. And you find out that derail a little bit, because we are talking about this single plastic use. The effect, apart from what Aja have said, is also it has effect on our mental health, our health generally. We have to start looking into this one. You understand? Because even right from the production of a single plastic to the use and disposal, there's a whole chain of health hazard attached to it. The smell, the gathering, the disposal, the production, everything. There's a hell lot of health hazard. It gives us stress, and a lot of emotional disability. It affects the brain. I don't know, there's something I'm thinking of the name again. What happened in Port Harcourt a few years ago, and I think black smoke that comes. Thank you so much. That comes from the air. It causes cancer. It gives infection to the lungs, to the respiratory system. Things like that. So what is causing it? We need to understand and reduce the use of those things. So it's high time we think outside the box and get closer to the community and let them understand the health hazard of the use of these plastics. And we start, because there's no way you can even talk about plastic or eliminating it without having your health, sound health. There's no way you can talk about it without having a sound mental health. That's what we call a psychosomatic. Simple definition of psychosomatic is what affects the mind affects the body, and what affects the body affects the mind. When you inhale a pollution from a plastic product, it affects you emotionally, in fact, it affects your health, and it will start taking on your body. And most times we don't know. We move on. We go to the hospital, we continue to take medication, but it's something that we can avert. So I thank God, Right Foundation has come up with this idea, and I want to believe other organizations can spring up, to join, because it's not a competition, it's about helping the society. So other organizations can come up, and those organizations that are not into it can also collaborate, like you said earlier, to partner and promote, create awareness, and do advocacy for sustainability. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Okwe, for bringing in, particularly the health implication of plastic, single plastic use. And we still need to talk more about that. But while we're moving on to the next panelist, some of the things I want you to please put in touch maybe when making the next line rounds of comment is the initiative being promoted by our Clean Track Foundation. How can they help reduce the health risk involved in one of you? But you need to comment on that. We'll come back to you. We need to move on to Mr. Richard, right? Am I right? Thank you very much. And as a member of community development advocacy agency or organization, we talk about strategic partnership, and that was what Mr. Abuja started with. That yes, we need to be networking. Beyond, if you want to look at the layer of strategic partnership, we look at it even from the donor part down to regulatory agencies, down to community partners, and all of that. How do you think that strategic partnership can help to address both the environmental concerns and particularly mitigate the impact or risk, both the social risk of single plastic use? What do you think can be done in terms of the strategic partnership approach?
Okay. First and foremost, I am representing Abuja. My name is Ora Papaikoras. I'm the project officer for Community Development and Advocacy Foundation. I think this question is very crucial in this gathering, and I would like to approach it just that the strength of strategic partnership is in first having an internal energy. What do I mean by that? Print for example, is one of these organizations that I know, I am quite sure will stand out. And the launch of this PAC, I think, is a strategic move to really start solving the core issue of the society. Now, when I say internal energy, every organization, first and foremost, must know its internal strength to be able to build the required partnership or to be able to link up with external organization to ensure that the strength this collective organization is putting to make sure that the environment is sanitized is not going to waste. I will come to a deeper explanation of that as I progress. Now, for example, Kodak, in our operation, we've engaged communities with other partners, and we've been able to bring out a positive outcome from this engagement. Not because we have the total capacity to do so, but because we have the understanding of what it takes to leverage on the strength and the capacity of other organizations. And this is because we quite understand our internal value. Now, once we've understood our internal menu to a quite reasonable percentage, then we can further stretch our hand to strategic partnership. This is what I'm saying. If I don't know myself as an organization, I will not be able to partner with an external organization to solve the required problem in our environment. If Printright, for example, did not know our core mandate, there will be no partnership with Community Development Advocacy or Foundation. And thus, every CSO or every organization as such should understand this for their partnership to become strategic enough to cause a change. You should understand that we are pillars between the people and the government. And hence, everything we do is centered around making sure that the policy that governs the environment is the right policies. So, with this, we can further stretch our hand to partner strategically with other organizations.
Thank you very much for your insights too. Yes, building internal strength to enhance strategic partnership, and that is key. We need to have what it takes to work with others. I totally agree with you on that. And because of time, I'm just going to limit us to 1 minute comments now. Because they are giving me signs that we are running out of time. I'm going to quickly come back to Abuja, please. So within the context of your operation, what you do in your organization, the opportunities for spreading up this initiative being promoted by Printright Foundation.
And the opportunity being promoted by the Printright Foundation is the technology being involved. I think there is need for in recycling activities. There's a lot of technology that's been springing up. You have this biodegradable plastic that nylon-stable plastic that was produced from them. So it's a very good opportunity because if you use technology, waste to energy, waste to health, and waste to wealth, right? That's what we're trying to see. So that if you bring in an innovative, a good technology can be used in all these societal activities. So Printright's technology almost service foundation, I think, to come up with a very good initiative, just like what you have been doing already. So the technology you are now using is like you are trying to recycle plastic waste by converting this to use to very biodegradable. So it's a very good initiative, and the technology being involved is just waste to waste initiative or waste to health initiative.
Thank you very much, Abuja, for that vision. So that's technology. We want to scale it up, and I believe that within the AWP, we can provide some technical support to enhance that. I want to agree with that. Okay, now, so Mr. So like I said earlier, the initiative promoted by Printright Foundation, we are saying when we launch it today, do you think they can actually address the health risk of single plastic use in Nigeria?
Thank you again. They can and they cannot. Because every organization knows their limit. They know their thematic area. That is where core partnership comes in. When it comes to health or mental health issue, they call an organization that is into it. For example, I was in a launch. I met one of the staff. I said, "What's your organization?" He said, "Printright." I said, "What are you printing right?" He started explaining. I said, "Oh, this is very good, fantastic. Do you people mind us coming to give you talk on mental health aspects?" And that is it. That is partnership. And it is partnership that brought all of us here today. Okay? So they can. And they have a limit. What is their limit? They are good in ecosystem. Okay? So when it comes to mental health or health aspect, we do for organizations. Like our organization. As a matter of fact, this our guy when he was talking today, sorry sir, I don't know, I can't remember the name. He said, this is an acronym. When you see the entire initiative is an acronym. It stands for Trauma Awareness and Resilience Initiative. And all this plastic disposal production can cause trauma, can cause some mental health. That is why we are here. That is the core essence of partnership. So when it has to do with that area, we look for organization. That is why we partner. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for stressing the importance. Before I come to Mr. Igwe, we're going to speak last. I'm going to go back to our brother from Community Development and Community Foundation, and we just do a final thought on in terms of scaling up the information we are receiving here today. How do we step down this knowledge to the grassroots, and how can we partner with tribes to ensure that this information gets to the community?
When people was speaking, he mentioned something about the mentality of individuals, and it's quite the bulk of the whole game here. Now, if you check the initiative that is being launched by PFC, you'll discover that it is a creative initiative, and if it is put out there, it is something I am quite sure that most persons that understand the detriment of plastic in the environment will understand the goodness of this initiative. Now, merging it with strategic partnership. Currently, Community Development Advocacy Foundation, we currently did a program in federal environmental resources. University of Federal Environmental, yes, Federal Environmental Resources, Petroleum, yeah. So what we actually engaged them with was the knowledge of the danger of plastic in the university. And the VC said something very intriguing. He said, waste is energy gone astray. Waste is energy gone astray. Now, if you check what the initiative here now, you will discover that what is being put by PFC is something that would further stop the introduction of waste in the environment, while indirectly putting it into the mentality of individuals out there that plastic is indeed not. So in a nutshell, partnership organizations should strategically bring their message on the dangers of plastic in every community that have been engaged. We as Kodaf, when we are going there, we are always saying that the dangers of plastic far outweighs the benefit of it whenever we engage community. And such, every partnership organization or every relationship that is being connected to the environment must pass the message to the communities they engage. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate that insight too. So, finally, Mr. Austin, 1 minute is going to more or less be a complete remark of this panel session. So, for you as an organization, as a leader of an organization, what message do you want the audience here to take out with regards to what you're doing and how further partnership can be created through this? What message do you want them to take away?
I think the message is very simple. It's a message of collaboration. It's a call for collaboration. See, the truth is we can't do this alone. We can't. We have to collaborate to do this. People working in the communities have to take the messages to the community. Those working in the mental health space should also take the message there. Those working in the regulatory space should also be able to give us policies and regulations that will further strengthen, these moves. So for us, it's a call for collaboration. Right? Let's collaborate with more schools. I think we have just about 8 schools right now. We want to collaborate with more. right? We are opening up for collaboration. That's what we're saying, so that we can take these messages beyond a small area to at least a wider audience. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure, and please put your hands together for our panel members. They have brought justice to the discussion. Of course, we have a lot to discuss, but unfortunately, time is not on our side, so we're going to draw the curtain here. And we believe that the messages that have been passed here will go a long way to help.